So today we will study the concept of diffraction in physics, right? So basically this concept was first given by Francesco Maria, right? She was the one who gave the concept of diffraction, right? So now what is diffraction? It is basically the bending of light around an obstacle is known as diffraction, or you can say the change in path is known as diffraction, right? So for example, consider that there is a screen, right? This is a slit, right? And where are the rays, right? Rays are passing through this. So as we know it, like when the rays will pass this slit, like this is a slit, right, will the rays travel in a straight line or in spherical? So we know that the ray will change its path and it will travel into spherical, right? It will like this, and this is the we have screen right over here. Now basically one important thing to remember for MCQs is that the wavelength of light must be small. It must not be long. Basically the wavelength of the light must be approximately equal to the to the distance of the slit, like to the hole, equal to hole, right? The distance of this hole and the distance, like the wavelength, must be approximately equal. Basically for diffraction the distance or you can say the wavelength must be small for the diffraction, right? And another important thing for diffraction, like without interference diffraction cannot be possible. So basically you can say that another thing important for MCQs is that diffraction basically depends upon this diffraction depends upon interference, right? This diffraction depends upon interference. Now basically we have two types of diffraction, right? First is Fresnel diffraction, right? Okay, in this what will happen, consider that these are the rays, like these are the right rays, right? And this is a slit and this is a hole over here, right? And we know that for diffraction the wavelength of this rays must be equal to this hole, right? These are equal, then diffraction can be easily possible, right? Okay, consider these both are equal. Now it will change into spherical form. Okay, consider this obstacle is at a finite distance, right? Or you can say the distance is small, it is not big. So what will happen, these wave fronts which are the wave fronts, like according to the Huygens principle, we have studied this thing, and I also uploaded the video. If not, you can watch my Huygens principle video too. So wavefronts will be spherical, right? The wavefronts will be spherical, and if you talk about rays, so they will be like this. The rays will be like this of this source, right? So the rays are not parallel, right? The rays are not parallel. So there are two important things to remember in Fresnel diffraction is that there are the spherical wavefronts and the rays are not parallel, right? Now we have another type of diffraction, which is basically Fraunhofer diffraction. Basically what will happen, the obstacle is placed on a very large distance, or you can say on infinite distance. Now for example, these are the rays of light, and consider this is a slit, right? and the wavelength must be equal. Now first consider that this is the obstacle, it is quite far away from here. Now what will happen, that this wavelength must be equal to the this hole, right? So first there will be spherical wavelengths, but after that this spherical wavelength will convert it into plane, right? So now over here, like the obstacle is very far, right? So now the wave fronts will be plane, right? The wavefront will be plane. If we talk about the rays, so over here you can see, so these rays are basically parallel. These rays are parallel to the wave fronts. So two important things to remember in Fraunhofer diffraction, that the wave fronts will be plane and the rays will be parallel, right? And the distance, the obstacle is present at very far distance, right, from the infinite position, right? So here the wavefront will be plane, right? And we have studied this thing in Huygens principle too. So I hope this is clear to you. If you have any kind of queries, you can ask me in the comment section. I'll be very glad to answer you guys.